This episode of This Week in Tech India, where I highlight the most important tech news that happen in India every week so that you can continue to stay informed. Big thank you to all those who subscribed. I would love for my videos to reach more people. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now and please consider sharing this with a friend of yours. Let's get into what happened this week in Tech India. The Prime Minister of India, on his Independence Day speech, announced that India is on track to achieve its big ambitions for semiconductor manufacturing. In fact, he said that by the end of this year, there will be a made in India chip that is even made for India. I've been talking about this for a while, but I cannot overstate how big a deal this is. In another bit of news, 4 days back, the government approved 4 new semiconductor manufacturing units in India as part of the India Semiconductor Mission, with investments of thousands of crores and thousands of jobs that are going to be created. And this also means that a lot of IP is going to be generated and owned by India. With these 4, the total number of approved chip making units in India rises to 10. I keep drawing comparisons between India and Taiwan. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company TSMC today produces more than half of the world's chips. And when there was a chip shortage a few years back, it really drove the prices of electronics from computers to electric cars to industrial equipment. This gives an indication of how important semiconductors are for tech, period. Anything that computes needs a semiconductor. Baba Ocean. Working, Baba. This is my cat Ocean. He's also excited. Okay, go there. Not on the laptop. Alright. So let's continue and watch this space. And if you know somebody who's working in the industry, share this video with them. I would love to speak with more people in the industry. This also implies the need for India to become more self-reliant, which is also something, by the way, the Prime Minister highlighted in his speech. And in many ways, it felt like he was throwing shade at the US with their whole tariff policy, highlighting that, you can't rely on trading partners being reliable trading partners forever and that you need to do things on your own. Well, I imagined half of what he said and I loved it. So that's great. I wonder though, if India one day overtakes China and Taiwan in terms of number of semiconductors produced and exported around the world, will we still see tariffs? Yeah, I don't think we will. They need us more than we need them, if you know what I mean. Last thing I'll say about this topic, for those who are more interested in this space, the Economic Times wrote a fantastic article which gives a brief history of the semiconductor industry in India. I'll link it in the description, go check it out. There's a bit of news coming from Rapido, which is probably India's fastest growing cab aggregator. Where they are now from where they launched, I don't think Ola was even there. Of course, different times, different environments, whatever it is. Still, props to them. Rapido, as announced, is piloting a zero commission model whereby riders and drivers, instead of sharing a commission of their fare earnings, just pays Rapido a subscription amount and then they get to keep all of their fare earnings to themselves. Ola piloted this earlier this year. Uber also piloted this not very long ago. And we are yet to see some real data in terms of how many drivers prefer this model over the other. So let's wait and watch. Rapido also enters the food delivery space with its own app called Only. Get it? Only, but like you own it. Only. Nice. Right now, it's operating in parts of Bangalore. It's a food delivery app. The delivery drivers also follow the zero commission model according to Rapido. What is also interesting about this, as what could be seen as a threat to Zomato and Swiggy, not just the competition, but also the National Restaurant Association of India has said that Zomato and Swiggy are taking too high of a commission and they are finalizing terms and conditions with Rapido. If those terms and conditions are favorable, it obviously means more and more restaurants will prefer to list on Rapido rather than Zomato and Swiggy. So let's see if that plays out. OnePlus has partnered with Bhagwati Products Limited, BPL, to manufacture their latest tablets in India. I'm not a huge fan of Android tablets, to be honest, but I hear that OnePlus does make a good tablet. And of course, more manufacturing in India is more good for India. I'm still waiting for the day to see where Make in India also translates to cheaper in India. All the electronics that are manufactured in India, well, at least most of them, are not seeing lower prices for Indian consumers. Your iPhone is just as expensive, if not more expensive, in India than it is in the rest of the world, even though they are made in India. Optimus Infracom Limited, an Indian manufacturer, announced the launch of India's first domestically manufactured tempered glass for mobile screen protection. So that's a big jump for not just mobile phones, but even accessories being made in India. Infosys, my dear Infosys. In its third acquisition in 6 months, Infosys acquires 75% of Australian IT major Versent. I'm not going to comment on this too much. Let's just remember that a couple of weeks ago, Infosys promised to hire 20,000 freshers this year. I'm still waiting for that to happen. Now, to close up with a bit of global news, Google and Apple are having their Pixel and iPhone events respectively sometime within the next 3 or 4 weeks. Great. But for those who are or know people buying on EMIs, let me tell you that the number of EMI related purchases in India is increasing, and also the number of EMI defaults in India is increasing. Now it's a disproportionate increase, which means the rate of increase of defaults is far more than the rate of increase of EMIs. This is a disturbing trend, and it breaks my heart to see people thinking that EMIs are for their own good, whereas in fact it pulls you into a financial commitment which you have to fulfill or face the consequences later. I made quite a few videos about it. Go check them out on my channel. Just remember that it's a lot less advisable to buy something on EMIs, because most of the things that are available on EMIs are things that you want but not things that you need. You do not need the latest iPhone. So don't buy it if you don't have the cash to pay upfront. That would be my advice. Another bit of global news that has a lot of people going crazy is that Perplexity and another tech company which has an Indian origin CEO, what is it? Puch.ai. I don't know how to say it. Made multi-billion-dollar offerings to buy Chrome of Google. These are, of course, crazy amounts, but it does indicate one thing, which is Chrome, which is the most popular browser in the world, has a lot of your personal information, your browsing patterns, your login information, your location history, whatnot, etc. Kind of sadly reveals the state of privacy in today's world, which is almost non-existent. And no, if you're thinking that incognito mode, and I know why we use incognito mode primarily, incognito mode does not offer significant privacy benefits compared to normal browsing. It's only to block certain cookies, which will help you, say, if you're booking a flight or something like that. But your browser company can still look at your browsing data. So take care. Thanks for watching this video. I make one every week. Make sure to subscribe and share this with a friend so that all of you can stay informed about tech in India. Peace.